Hi, I'm Raviraj Subramanian. I am a part of a great DevRel team at Freshworks. We are serving our developer platform who builds, uh, which can be used to build integrations for all the Freshworks products. Uh, Freshworks is uh, a unicorn based out of Chennai, India, uh, has a suite of products. So our platform is playing a vital role to build integrations for almost all the platform, all the Freshworks products. Uh, so uh, let me uh, go through what our topic is. Today, we are going to see how you can build your community on empathy. So, simply to say, everyone has empathy and every community has it. Uh, so, it is just how to figure out where it is and how will we improve it. Uh, that is what we are going to see today. Uh, Let me go to the next slide through that. Yeah. So uh, today we are going to see these are the options like agenda that we are going to see. Uh, why does empathy matters in the first place? Uh, we may not be agreeing in everything that comes to under empathy, but we are going to see why it matters and how does it even work. Uh, how can you bring empathy to everything? And then finally we will see like a community with empathy driven how it will look like so how we can go there and see what happens. Today we are going to see one of them one by one. Let me move to the first topic. So why does empathy matters? So before looking at it, I will just give a definition for empathy. So this is the widely accepted uh, definition for empathy. It is the ability to recognize and identify the feelings of other person, whether it can be real or fictional, right? So this is hard to correlate how I can apply to my community. So here we have a more simple definition like empathy is just putting yourself into another person's shoes. So you can also share their feelings from their end. So you can view everything perfectly as they see, and as you take further steps, it will clearly visible from how your community looks like from another person, and you will be able to take some brilliant steps to grow your community and deliver a great experience to your developers. So today, uh, how it happens, right? So why does even matter? Uh, so in our community, whenever you are applying empathy to everything, that it will show them that you are ready to hear them first. In most cases we don't even happen to hear them well. We always focus upon some measurable metrics and ROI and everything required for sustaining our business, but we tend to forget what they want to say. So it is something uh, that will make the first step different. So you will hear them first, and then they are always your developers are happy to share what they think and what they want and everything. Also, it will also, when you hear them, it will also show that you are being helpful. uh, you don't need to solve their problem, you don't need to uh, even hear every problem of them. Whenever you try, it just makes look like you are trying to be helpful to your community, right? Also, empathy has this thing where even anything negative happens in around your community and even where what matters, spamming your email or your community or events chat or whatever, uh, if you look at them and hear from them like what they want to share and everything, it will totally make a difference that instead of just blocking them, it makes create a different experience for everyone. Maybe they are not even trying to spam, they were trying out something else and they don't understand the system, something like that. So we are going to see everything in detail now. So how does it work? So okay, I am ready to apply empathy. So how are you saying that it will work among others? Like it is most difficult to understand others, right? So you will see how it works. So it starts from our human brain that it is too difficult to understand our complete brain. It is still scientists are studying it. So we have something called uh, our brain is actually working for this interpersonal connection and community. So that is how we are always get connected to another people. Even if you go to Mars, you want to always see another human there, right? So we have an actual neuron called mirror neurons that helps us empathize with another person in front of us. Uh, so this is how we feel something like we have like let's say someone falls in the road. You feel embarrassed for them or painful for their injury or whatever. Also for happiness, when even if it's a stranger, just you just met a colleague or someone who are happy, you become happy for them whenever they are happy. So it is just how it works. We don't understand how it works from our brain. So you learned this today. So everything I applied, okay, it is already there in my brain, and this is how biology works. We are also trying to be here developers, but why is it so hard? Why is it not working sometimes? Uh, so we will see that whenever we are making some changes to introducing to our community towards empathy, that uh, uh, that takes more and more time, and over time we get tired of doing the same, and the engagement rate reduces. The what is that that energy goes away over time, right? So that is where you need to pitch in, where you need to understand that the empathy needs regular practice, and we need to strengthen over time so that it sustains, and it becomes it helps the community sustain, right? uh, then where it disturbs is like sometimes we want to tend to provide community with more empathy stuff, but we have some measurable metrics and we want to focus on them, and we have to make our business sustainable. uh, this is what is stopping us sometimes. Uh, so it can be collided. We will see how we will do that sometime. Also, as I mentioned, it takes some time to see effect. Sometimes you do something and you don't see the expected effect later. Uh, we will see that. Also, these are some examples I have, like welcoming every new member in your community platforms with a great experience. Initially, it will be easy, but later it comes difficult to give the same experience to the new joinees, right? And you forget to say hello to your community member if you see on them, bumping them into them in some events or anywhere else, right? And then it is totally digitized, and everything becomes just a like in Twitter and LinkedIn. uh, don't do that, just yeah, giving a thumbs up and all. So let's have congratulatory interactions like old good times, right? So I will show you some examples to how it can be referenced. So I'll show you uh, UNICEF, which helps this child. Uh, production organization that developed a plan to hand out mosquito nets to help curb malaria in Malawi, which is part of Africa. And it was not their primary problem to curb mosquito and reduce it. So they had another urgent sustenance, which has they want to fish, right? So this mosquito nets help them fishing instead. This is the UNICEF's assumption that failed. Uh, uh, they wanted to help, but it obviously failed. Their thesis have failed, but uh, we will see how we can learn from this. So, if you have, if you open to yourself to understand the local context, it will assist in coming up with the right solutions at the right time. Mosquito net it is not a, it's a good solution, but it's not the timely solution for when they have other urgent needs, right? So this is how they could have applied, they could have opened their ears to understand what their pressing issue first, and then solve that with essentials, and then creating awareness on malaria, why they need to concentrate on here as well. They could have obviously done this. It is on 2005. So I'll show you another case study. So it is our from our own Freshworks developer community. Uh, we have whenever we host developer events for our partners developers, we have this new launches and other areas we want to show them, and so we chose topics over uh, ourselves when during our planning before the events, and then not all the participants were interested in those topics, right? So some of them might be interesting, some of them are not. So here we what we did, so we sent out a survey to hear them first on what topics they would like to see, they would be interested. It may not always be narrowed down to few topics. If a few developers might be interested in something, a few developers will be in saying different. You can always have a bell curve to come up with something who correlates with your ideas, right? So we have this wonderful situation where we both had a win-win situation, and we our developers were liked our future events, all the topics, right? So another one, again, it is from our community. It is the whenever we have this marketplace app submission uh, that will be reviewed for multiple stages before publishing it to our Freshworks marketplace to make sure the quality is always better, right? So developers have always complained about it, even from the beginning. Like it takes a huge time to get reviews. I want to push one urgent fix, even it takes some time, or even we want to uh, uh, even if they have a huge changes, we don't have to take like 1 month, right, to just review stages. So they have always complained about this, so our team had to just do this one thing, to rethink the purpose again, what we wanted to achieve via this review stages, and then we had this goal of reducing the app review time, which will help our developers. We have done all the combined all the review stages into one, so we reduced the total review time into by half, right? It is a great achievement. If it takes 1 month, if it is now only half month, right? So it is a huge change for the benefit for the developers. So these are all the some of the problems we face in our community. We have uh, our we have our process is set that cannot be changed easily. If you are in a big organization like me, so it will be very hard to take your process changed, right? So in our community, we have a company that is 3,000 plus employees, so it is hard to change get through some process level changes. So that affects developers issues, right? So you just have to revisit all the problems and think differently. So you will be able to solve the problem easily, and it need not to this problem need not to stagnate always, right? So let me show jump into another topic that when you how do we bring this empathy to everything, right? So I have shown you the examples on various things. How do we apply it everywhere? So before applying, we need to have this. Why does it? How it will be benefit the community, right? So you can see here, like the community members always love to give engage and with others, and they always want to recommend to their friends when it's good, right? Uh, so this happens and it benefits you, right? So it is not involved with the measurable metrics or something. They like it and they recommend it and the community grows, right? So this is how it will also become a sustainable community with having a good guided habit for all the active contributors and your community members. It becomes sustainable on its own. It also create an agency where your quality content produced by your community, and the moderation happens on the fly. You don't need to care about it, and it just becomes a new culture of your community. Uh, it also becomes a your community totally becomes a feedback driven community in this way. When it is feedback driven, it will always never failure, right? You will never see a failure uh, when you hear your developers at right time always. So so how will we practice this empathy? uh, Empathy, why I mean to we need to practice is it is not we believe that it comes automatically, but not as I mentioned about the biology. It can always be taught and learnt by everyone. It can be adopted, so you can always go for this, whoever it is. Even if this your new member of your community, it will always be taught and learned. uh, let's also make our community not boring with everything. When you make your anything towards empathy, you need to make sure that the community is always interesting to everyone. Also, you can see that when you get more and more empathetic, you become attached to your developers, or some emotional resonance. You just need to avoid it. You can always see it in some examples from uh, some professionals like doctors and nurses. uh, they will be empathetic, but they will not be too attached to their patients, right? So that is something we need to always be make sure. uh, and then we need to hear our uh, our community members always, right? To do this successfully, you need to forget judging people. Like some people might be coming with a huge experience, some people will be totally new, some people will have come from different background, who has a different perspective that you may not even understand at first, right? So start listening from there. Uh, Make your community culture a priority. It may think you may think that it is not, but it is attached to everything. You can see from the examples, like it will be attached everywhere. So you make this a priority, and you can see all the magics happening. So also make sure you are in the right path by measuring it. Whatever you want to learn, have some learning goals and go on your learning path. So we are out of time, I think. So I will rush it here from here. So we have some simple hacks for you to make your community members as friends. It doesn't mean you need to go out with them, hang out, have drink with them. So it is just how will you treat your friends? You will always need to treat your community members, active community members, the same way. You don't need to give one simple bad experience to your friends, right? So it is the same for your community members. Also, remember your famous and favorite people of your community. The community always like them, and what if you don't know them, right? So it will be an embarrassment situation when you're uh, presenting to your developers or meeting them. Uh, Also, talk with to your community members whenever possible. It is the great opportunity you have. It is also not easy to achieve. Also, when you are too busy to addressing some of their things, so whenever it is possible, go talk with them. uh, Keep yourself stress free. So uh, when you are under stress or anxiety, that it will directly passes into everyone you meet, everyone you speak, whatever content you make, right? So always keep yourself stress free and happy. That you can sense the magic happening always to passing the same to others. I have some great examples here. Uh, some low-hanging fruits, like you can provide badges to your supporting your community members, like liking, replying to posts, mentoring in the hackathon, uh, some delivering talks in your developer events. These are some of the examples that we have achieved. Uh, you can see yourself many other examples like this, and you can have address these kind of low hanging fruits. We also have like you can go from low hanging fruit to almost culture level changes. Like we have this uh, culture level changes, like you can create a bot that will always make sure all the communication made in your community platforms are inclusive, like and then maintaining a shared recruitment jobs list. So whenever someone looking for job in your community, they know where to go. They are not lost, even though they are under in the crowd of your community. Uh, Also, driving non-technical training or mentor program in your community. These are some of the great examples. This is something came I directly uh, imported from DevRel collective community, which already lives by these examples, right? So we see how we can apply it. We will see quickly what does this look like. So empathy in practice, how it will look like, right? So you can do something like real-time examples, like you can go and identify and fix a small developer experience problem that your community faces. Some These are some smaller problems that won't rise above, and it will not come to you directly, so you need to identify them and solve this. uh, so and also make sure that your developers will be able to reach out to you by stable channels, like uh, uh, you will have some due to this rush to use all the platforms, you might have unknowingly created many platforms, but your community members don't know whom to reach out, where to reach out to you, right? So make it easier. Also, don't make them wait too long for a response. They don't like it. So try relating to the feelings and emotions in the communication. Whenever you see a communication, that you can always see their feelings and emotions shown in the every communication. Like even it's in-person meeting, or just a writing or email, or just a support ticket, or a forum interactions, right? So it can be anything. Try to see what these feelings, and it will teach you a lot on what they think, what they want, right? So you'll be able to clearly get what they understand, want. Also, with your communication, in your each communication, like make sure that you present the same tone. Like I'll be happy to work here, but I'm not interested to email someone, right? So I'll have a different tone there. It won't work. They will clearly see that, and keep yourself from maintaining this consistently. So finally, uh, we have seen how we can apply it and everywhere in your community. Here are some takeaways. Uh, Understand what your community wants. It is mostly unique. So you hear them, you apply them, and you see if it works, right? So always try to understand what your community really wants. It will not be common, though our development strategies are always common. Uh, so it will be unique. You need to understand and apply the right strategy. Be the community change maker. The change has to start from you. Don't expect your guidelines to make it strict and create a culture, right? So be a community changer. Also accept the change that your community requires or expects or even deserves, right? So sometimes you will not be able to afford it, you will not be able to understand, and these are the hard things, but you need to understand that a change is inevitable. Also finally, consistency is the key. So you need to, whatever you do, you have to do it, develop it upon it, and always make sure you are consistent, right? So that's it. Thank you. So this is my handle right here. So you can contact me on Twitter. So do you have any questions, Taiji?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Taiji.
Yes, sorry, my audio trouble. It's maybe
Mhm.
the browser plugin had been crashed. I restart the Chrome browser. The, I'm back here. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one question from the audience. Uh,
Mhm.
right. Yep. Question. I think vendors need to take some lead in maintaining the user community, but is it the same situation for your company, Freshworks, or do
Mm.
you take a different approach?
Yeah. So in our company, that we don't uh, give provide the community management to vendors, as our community is so small that we mostly make events, that is invite only events to our developer partners. Currently, our platform is just 3 years old, and we just have some community partners, developers, and it is very small. We will be able to handle it on our own. So our DevRel team, with a 4-member team, and with the help of our engineering, tech writing, and product management teams, we are able to handle our community on our own. But it will not be the case for all the companies, that some big organizations, they might want to give out their community management to their vendors, uh, and it will be like even it will be involved with some active community members maintaining the community on their own, like student partners and all. So it will be it is different from our community. So our company, it is totally depends on you. But yeah, I personally prefer to make sure we are always be in touch with our developers, so we will understand their pains, and we are able to always make sure our community is thriving through all the problems coming up with their our platform or whatever. So
Mhm.
even if it's vendor, I think you will be able to do some have some controls at you that you can take, and this will help you, I hope.
Yeah, I see. I think it's very beneficial for us. Actually, for example, the IBM I working is
Mhm.
a big company, but I involved in the IBM Cloud. IBM Cloud is a lot of developer don't know that IBM have the cloud platform, so it's kind of the similar situation. For us,
Yeah.
with your company, therefore small market, and need to improve the market and user community. Right. Yeah. So I find it very difficult to start, grow, and maintain a community. I think your session will help to solve these challenges. I believe your
Mhm.
session will help everyone in the audience who have the same challenges as us. Right? Yep.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll publish my slides to this URL. It's not yet, I have done. I will also share it on our Slack. So thank you everyone for coming to my session. Thank
Yeah.
you for
It's
development
right.
organizing.
And sorry, the your handle name is behind the conference logo. The you
Mhm.
can you move the under a little bit your
Ah,
window?
okay. Can you see that now?
Uh, more a little bit. Move to. bottom.
Okay.
Oh, it's sorry. Okay. I
Yeah. I will, mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I I had a conference logo. Yes. This is Raviraj. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you very much again, Raviraj. Thank you for your good presentation.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Taiji.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.